All right, I'm moving on. The Colonial Law Republic of Cameroon government is using repressive measures to suffocate basic and genuine requests. Requests that demand direct message to resolve them. La Republic of Cameroon will rather showcase the muzzle of their military as a solution, synchronized on to resolving issues, an option that has never paid off. Medical personnel at the town of Yaoundé, the political capital of La Republic of Cameroon, came out in a passive strike action requesting better working conditions and the payment of their arrears. Genuinely, as their request was, the colonial-oriented Minister of Public Health, instead of promising them better working conditions ahead and scheduling the payment of their dues, instructed police officers to arrest them.
Well, this is how lawless the La Republic as a state and its ministers are. The ministers are not only lawless but have no respect for human rights. This repressive measure is the nature of Biya's regime. This is how they present war in southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. The present war started like this in 2016 when lawyers and teachers came out on a peaceful strike with legitimate demand. La Republic adopted the military option to suppress them. Lawyers and teachers were beaten, arrested, and even thrown into jail. A year after, given that the whole of Ambazonia was in solidarity with the teachers and lawyers, the dictator Biya declared war against the entire people of Amazonia, and here we are today. What is it that the colonial regime of Paul Biya is not ready for? Peaceful arrangement.
More than 15 health personnel of the Yaoundé Emergency Hospital, who have been protesting since the 12th of May, were arrested on the morning of the 5th of June, 2023. The health workers had been demonstrating at the Colonial Ministry of Public Health over unpaid wages. Many of them complained of the poor treatment from the authorities despite over 9 years of diligent services to this health care sector. In addition to unpaid salaries, the protesters complained of poor working conditions with vague promises made to them each time they tried requesting improvement. One of the protesters had this to say: "For many months now, we have not been paid our salaries, despite the complaints we have been putting up. We keep receiving fake promises, and we cannot keep taking it."
Well, the protesters went on to explain that despite the fake promises made to them, they kept showing up for work because of the love they have for their jobs, but went on to add that there is a limit to their endurance. How do they expect you to keep coming to work when you don't even have transportation money, no food? How do we even take care of our families? Another protester queried. The lack of an appropriate response from the hospital administration forced them to march to the Colonial Ministry of Public Health, hoping that their plight might be addressed by a higher authority. Unfortunately, the response from the Colonial Ministry was far from what they anticipated, as after a few hours of protest, they were taken out of the premise by armed security forces, who, according to one of them, were sent by Dr. Manuda Malachi, La Republic Cameroon's Minister of Public Health.
The Colonial Minister, who is known for having an active presence on Twitter, has so far not commented on today's incident. Those arrested were reportedly taken to the Yaoundé Colonial Central Police Station, where it is unclear on what grounds they were arrested. This act has been widely criticized by many who took to social media to denounce what they termed injustice.
Well, at press time, the arrested workers have been released after all practitioners in Yaoundé stormed the said colonial police station, and this is an act of gross human rights violation on the part of the Colonial Minister of Public Health.